Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Zach with Moonstream Pictures, and we are going to do some demonstrations on how you can use AI today in your filmmaking. Now, this is primarily for development, pre-production stages, early stages of the film project, but if you're an indie film user, this is exactly what you should be using right now to make your life a million times easier. I'm going to be going over a few different tools, and I will be showing them in real time. So if I mess up in real time, you get to see, but even if I mess up, you're gonna see just how much time this saves you going through a project. We are under the assumption that you already have a script. That's it. All you need is a script to start going through this process. The features and tools you're gonna be seeing inside of this are Midjourney, which is for generating images generally. You're gonna see Runway machine learning, which can generate video and audio. You're going to see Strada, which is an AI, basically assistant editor, and that's fantastic. And you're also gonna see ChatGPT. So let's hop in. You can follow along with what I'm doing. Okay, so here we go in real time. You might be able to see me in the corner here. Maybe we'll stick me in the corner, but we're gonna play mostly on the screen, which you should see above or around me. And let's look at some AI tools. So first place we're gonna start is with ChatGPT. Let's open up a new ChatGPT window. Oh, you can see I was playing with something already. We'll start clean. And we're going to upload our script. This is a science fiction script that I'm working on right now. It's called Echoes of Soul, so we're going to use that as an example. I'm going to be submitting this actually for a film grant, and so it's been a good tool to have available and that we're going to use. We're going to say, "Hi, ChatGPT, can you analyze this script and create a scene breakdown? Remember, each scene starts with EXT and ENT." I always like to add little notes like that because sometimes ChatGPT isn't perfect. And this is the first time I should mention that you should be proactively checking everything that ChatGPT does. Really anything that you're doing AI, you need to be checking it and validating it. However, it can be a great start. It can do 95% of your work, if not more, but you do need to validate it, and perhaps we'll see some more examples as we go, but I'm being very specific here. So analyze the script. Let's fix my word here. Create a scene breakdown. Remember, each scene starts. Okay, let's see what ChatGPT does. So it's gonna take each scene. Here we go. Abandoned outskirts, ruined mech battlefield, training grounds. Don't read too much of this. This is my script. Don't steal my ideas. But it is just a scene breakdown. Now, what you're seeing is a brief description of each scene, which is good. That's okay. We can see how many scenes we have. There's a little short description, right? And understand, what we have to do at a very high level. But we probably want more information than that, right? When we're doing a scene breakdown in pre-production, there's a lot more to do. So I'm gonna say, "Hi, can you review this scene breakdown and include page 8 like a standard breakdown would, and include props, costumes, VFX and SFX, and anything else that might be part of a breakdown getting ready for production." And let's see what ChatGPT can do for us. So here's a more detailed, there's our city. 2/8 of a page description. We got the character, we got props, they have a signal tracker, costumes, pause this for a sec, VFX required, and any SFX that would be required. Now, it's up to us how we actually want to apply this, right? Some of this might be visual effects, some of this might be SFX, maybe we'll just add the sounds afterwards. But it's here. You might notice real quick, well, we're also missing characters in each scene. And that matters because we have mostly 1 to 2 characters in most of the scenes in this script, but we do have one larger scene that has a number of extras required, and so we might want to include that in our quick breakdown. We'll let it keep running for a sec. For each scene, can you include which characters are in the scene? Characters, description, props, as previously described. Oh, so sometimes it does this. Let's stop it. Can you add the characters? Notice how it's saying as previously described. Well, I'm lazy. I don't want to fill that out myself. Copy and paste and do all that. Can you add the characters into the last breakdown and include all the details we have already? So let's try that again. Sometimes it needs a little prompting, but again, it's still doing all of the work for me as we go. Boom. There's the character, here's the description. We've got props, costumes, VFX, SFX. These first couple scenes only have one character. Let's see if we can get to one with two. Oh, no, it does. It does have two. Boom, they're in there. It's not labeling him as character. Maybe we can fix that if we want to. But regardless, we have a basic full scene breakdown being generated for our entire script. In a matter of minutes, with a few small corrections, with ChatGPT functioning as our, whatever role you want it to be on independent films. This could be producer, script supervisor could be helping with this, line producer. You have an overall breakdown of your script and the high-level elements that are involved. So your next step is going to be going into scheduling. Now, I know this is heavily sci-fi. If it's not sci-fi, there's more things to consider when you're creating scenes. We're going to be mostly on a green screen using props to supplement the green screen and some set design. Let's finish continuing generating now. But I'm going to ask ChatGPT to generate a schedule, a loose schedule, of course, and it's not going to set dates yet, but a shooting schedule of what scenes we're going to shoot per day and how much we're going to shoot per day. So I'm going to start typing now while it's finishing up. It's almost to the end of our short film here. So I'm going to say, can you generate a shooting schedule based on this scene breakdown? Being generous with time to make sure we get what we need. Okay. I'm guessing about 6 shooting days. Most of that will be on green screen. The command center, that's with all the extras, the command center scene will likely take a full day of shooting. So we're gonna feed that in. Let's see what ChatGPT comes back to tell us. Based on the scene breakdown and your estimate of 6 days, here's a proposed schedule. So while it's generating the shooting schedule, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna copy our breakdown here. Paste that, send that off to whoever it needs to go off to for validation, corrections, start sending it to the production team so they can start getting ready for production. Obviously you want to review it, but we'll get there. So save that, keep it. We're going to open up another document because we're getting our shooting schedule out. Okay, day 1 green screen, outdoor and battlefield scenes. We're doing 2/8 of a page, 3/8 of a page, 2/8 of a page, 1/8 of a page, and 1/8 of a page on these different scenes. Some of these are flashbacks and just brief glimpses. So this is pretty accurate. Looks like it has little clips for each day, what to work on in the morning and what to work on in the afternoon and evening. And of course, you're going to want to review all this and make sure it's okay. But it looks like we have pretty much everything, including some time for pickup shots. Very good. So we're gonna take that. And now we already have a loose shooting schedule. Let's open up another Word document. What's next? Hey, ChatGPT, can you use this to generate a budget we can use for pitching to potential investors? We need to understand crew costs, talent costs, and additional costs for equipment and studio space with a green screen. Use standard rates for an indie film in Hollywood. Let's see what it comes up with. Here's a rough budget breakdown for Echoes of Soul. So it has the leads plus the cost. That is within range of SAG. Actually, it's a little more than SAG. Something to consider. Director, producer, DP, first AD, designer, script supervisor, technical crew. This is a pretty good breakdown, especially for an indie film. You know, in a higher budget project, you probably would have, you know, first ACs, you might have an on-set editor, you might have some more PAs, you might have less costume assistants, but this gives you a good breakdown. Here's our camera equipment costs. Green screen studio, $2,500 a day times 6 days. Total for that. And it comes out down to $174,000 as a start. But again, we have a start. Can you put the budget into a table for easier reading? Let's see if we can make it a little easier for us. Sometimes when you're doing things like creating a CSV, which it can do, or creating a table, it takes a little while for it to process the information and try and figure out what to do, but looks like it was able to do it. It just did the overall breakdown, which is okay. I mean, we can copy that, we can take it and do what we need to do. But we do have this other information that we can leverage and then just fill in as we need. Boom. And now you have a full cost breakdown. So I'm gonna take, let's just do this for now. This can be part of our proposal as we go. Boom. And again, in just a few minutes, you have a loose budget for your project. Mine's targeting about 150,000, so I need to finesse those numbers a little bit if I want to use this, but I really don't think that'll be too hard. This is more standard Hollywood rates, and we're an indie project, so we can probably cut a lot of these in half for the day rate. In half, if not more. Also, we're probably going to add a couple days because we want some time to test everything, do some rehearsals, you know, have everyone ready to go. So the actual shooting period is 6 days, but we have a couple days for prep. Okay, so moving on next, I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT, and this is when we're gonna start doing our pre-production, perhaps pre-visualization. We're gonna start with concept art. So, can you analyze the script and generate 10 prompts for Midjourney? We're gonna be switching into Midjourney from these prompts, but we're still gonna be leveraging ChatGPT. For Midjourney, that I can use to create concept art with. Let's see what happens. Okay, I can see that it's missing a little bit of information that I want. I happen to have that saved because I'm used to this. I want to say it's shot by an Arri camera. I don't always want to include the 35mm, but I do like to say 16:9. So, to make my life easier, can you add this text to the end of each of the 10 prompts? I'm gonna get rid of the 35mm here, but I do want to keep the AR 16:9 and the other. So All right, here comes all the prompts now. Boom. So now I don't have to insert that myself every time. All right, let's pause this for a second. It's still generating below, but I just needed to stop the scrolling. We're gonna pop over here. You can see that I've already been working in Midjourney on this project specifically, but also just for my proposal in general, creating concept art. We're gonna /imagine a strong, determined woman in a pilot suit. So now we're moving into our next AI tool, Midjourney, creating our concept art. She should be walking through a post-apocalyptic city, skyscrapers shattered, twisted metal debris around her. The sky is red from a setting sun, casting long, eerie shadows. She holds a cobbled together signal tracker. We'll see how well that shows up. I'm not sure if that's gonna come in. It might not know exactly what that is. I could probably describe it and get more detail, but I don't know if it's necessary for what we're trying to accomplish here. Oh yeah, those are some very dusky shots. They're all fairly similar. I could create some variations. I guess I want to find one that shows, I like this showing more destruction in the city, and I like the contrast in the colors. This one, they're all pretty cool. This one has a gun in it. I'm gonna stick with this one. So we're gonna up-res the third one. Oh, let's try that again. There we go. Looks like there was a small hiccup. All right, let's take this image. I'm gonna save it. Okay, so we have some concept art. I can keep going back and forth between the prompts and make sure that, you know, I might have to adjust it a little bit. Let's go find one a little later. How about Riva? This is the other character in the story, walking in the storm. Whoops, I need to /imagine. Let's try that one. Let it go for a sec. Give it a few seconds here as it generates. You can see there's a status here in Midjourney telling us how long it's taking to get there. This is a lone figure, Riva, in a pilot suit walking away from a ruined building under a torrential downpour. Lightning cracks across the sky as she holds a small phoenix pendant lightly. We probably won't see the pendant. The dark, stormy sky looms over her as she heads towards a massive sleek mech awaiting in the distance. So, I really like, all these pictures are fairly similar. The mech looks like disjointed here. It looks destructed here. So let's take this second one. Let's up-res 2. I can upscale it if I want, but I think this is fine. Let's save that. It's taking a second on the save for some reason. It's probably my computer. Come on. There we go. Let's go to our demo here. Concept art. And let's create another one. Get rid of my username here. Okay, now we're gonna take that and we're gonna change it from concept art into Previs. So I'm going to go to Runway now. Let's go to our Runway. Machine learning, this is runwayML.com. And you can see I was working on one earlier, that's here, but we're gonna do one of our new ones we just did. So let's go back to our concept art folder. Let's pull up this one, this second image, this is very cool. So we already have some concept art, right? I can use this as concept art, I can put this into a PowerPoint presentation, I can put it into a proposal, anything I want. But now I can do sort of a previs. In fact, I can start putting these clips together. We'll get into that in a little bit. Probably another video. But let's describe the shot. So a woman walks through a storm toward her mech unit. 10 seconds, let's see how it looks. Boom. queue. It's gonna take a little time to do that. Now, once these are done, you can download them and you can just start editing them yourself. What I'd like to do in other videos is show how you can leverage other tools to build that, or you can leverage your own editing software. But what I'd like to do today is finish up by, once we have this done, pulling clips into Strada and showing you what we can do with that. So we'll get there. Here's our 10 seconds. Boom, boom. Walking towards the mech. Perfect. Very cool, very exciting. Okay, we're gonna download that. Let's download this clip too. I'm gonna load another image, so let's clear this out. I'm gonna use something I generated already from the Previs. I have a face looking up and the colors kind of match, so maybe we can put these together. And let's generate. I'm gonna put mech in here. I don't know what that's gonna do because there's no mech in the image, but let's see what it generates for us. Let's finish this up here. This is 10 seconds of her looking up, so I don't know exactly what it's gonna look like. There you go. It's making it feel like a real shot. That gives us a lot of leeway to do editing when we want to do editing. Very cool. We're gonna download that as well. Next, we're gonna go to runwayML. Let's go to the dashboard. We're gonna do generative audio. We want to generate audio that just fits whatever we want to do. Hopefully you can hear this here.
Hey there, Maggie here. I appreciate you coming all this way to see me. Hi there. I absolutely love telling stories. Hey, I'm
Trying to
Ella.
pick our AI
I'm
voice
ready-
here.
I'm ready to roll. Hey there, I'm Nikki. I'm excited to dig in and do some research.
Nikki sounds okay, so let's go ahead and type in the message we want at the beginning, which is, your world is not my world, and my world doesn't belong to me anymore. Is that sufficiently dramatic audio? So let's try this with Ella. It's gonna generate it. Or wait, I think I had Nikki. Well, let's see what it sounds like with Ella.
Your world is not my world, and my
World
world
doesn't
doesn't
belong
belong
to
to me anymore.
Yeah. Let's try it again.
I just wanted you to know. I'm
Nah.
okay. Let's check that off our okay. Hold on.
There we go. I think that's sort of what we want to go for here. Klana. Let's generate that. I'll turn it up a little more just in case you can't hear.
Your world is not my world, and my world doesn't belong to me anymore.
Okay, that's a start. Let's download that.